So if you've ever searched for your business and wondered why everyone else seems to come up first, you're not alone. There are usually a few simple reasons and none of them are unfixable. Hi, it's Jules here. Welcome back to the Website Success Show, where I teach beauty, health and wellness business owners how to get more traffic and sales through your existing website. So there are usually a few reasons why competitors can show up first on Google. And this is really annoying. If you're trying to get your own website showing up and you can sometimes see your competitors down the road who you know aren't as good as you actually showing up in the Google search results. And there are usually a few reasons why this is happening. And it's something that you can just make some tweaks to your own website and that can make a big difference. So the number one reason is they look clearer to Google than you do. And this is not about their business being better than you. Google doesn't do any kind of judging on the quality of your business. It's not actually a client of yours. It doesn't know what actually goes on in your business. It's just basically Google is judging you by your online presence. So it's judging you by the things that are missing from your website, the things that are on your website, the things that you're talking about on your website that might then be missing that your competitors are doing better than you. Some examples of this are if you have your page titles and your page descriptions, you might also see them in your website builder as meta titles, meta descriptions. If you've got those missing or really poorly optimized on your website, then that doesn't send, or probably the other way of explaining it, if you've got these in and they're clear, then it sends really strong signals to Google about what these particular pages of your website are about. And probably something to mention here when we're talking about pages and websites in general is that Google looks at each individual web page. So Google doesn't rank whole websites. It ranks individual web pages. So we need to be really clear what the goal of each page is, what the topic of each page is, what we actually want Google to understand about each of our web pages. And adding in clear, concise, and really targeted page titles and descriptions can make a big difference to the amount of understanding that Google has about those particular web pages. The homepage is one of the things that people often neglect. I think homepages, there is so much potential here. And if we can really get our messaging very clear on our homepage so people can understand, and I say people, but also Google, we're talking about Google here, immediately, as soon as they land on the page, they should be able to understand within 3 seconds what you do, how you're going to make their life better, and what they need to do to get it. And if Google can't understand that, there's a good chance that people won't quite understand that as well, really. Your competitors might be doing better than you as well, actually mentioning the location and the services that they offer. This is something that's often neglected on websites. And I think when it's pointed out to you, it's like, oh yeah, of course, Google's not going to know where I am and what I do if I haven't actually mentioned that on my website. But sometimes we just have these mental blocks, or we've just never really thought about it. We've never had it explained to us. We've never really taken the time to look at our website and think, is it clear where I actually am? Is my address on there? Is the address the same as it is on my Google profile and the other places online? Even if you are a service area business, is it clear on your website the service areas that you do actually cover as well? And that can make a big difference, especially if your competitors are doing this. So Google immediately knows exactly where your competitors are, but you're not clear on your website. The second reason that your competitors might be showing up above you is their website structure actually helps Google understand them quickly. So this is where we come to our page hierarchy, which is something I talk about a lot. So making sure that our website pages are actually set up in a way that Google, and we're talking about AI bots now as well, ChatGPT, wherever people are searching, whichever bots are crawling through your website, making sure that you've got that proper hierarchy, which is like an English essay. So if you think about if you were back at school and you were writing an English essay, you would have one title for that essay. And on your website, that relates to your H1 heading. And this is something website builders often set us up to fail with. The way people use it is to actually style the page and make some things look bigger or smaller. But what you're doing when you're setting those stylings for the headings on your page is you're actually telling Google this is an important part of the page. And that H1 heading on your pages, you should just have one of those. And that is telling Google the most important thing, what this page is all about. So making sure that you've got that. So you've just got one H1 heading, and that contains the thing, the topic, the keyword, if you like, the key phrase of what this page is about and what you actually want Google to show this page up for on Google in search results. And thinking about your English essay, so you've got one heading. Then within that, you would maybe have some subheadings, and they would relate to that main heading. So they would be the bits that actually divide it up into the different parts, the related parts of that English essay, essentially. And then maybe within those H2 headings, you might have some subtopics in there, which would be your H3 headings. Realistically, for most websites, you probably don't need to go much lower than a H3 heading. And you would never want to see a H1 followed by a H3 followed by another H1. We want to see that, as I say, structured hierarchy down the page that makes sense. And it's helping Google to understand the most important parts of your page. It helps Google to understand what this page is all about and the related topics as well. So if we were thinking about this for a salon website, then your H1 heading might be the main thing of beauty salon in your location. That's something you could have potentially as a H1 heading on your page. And then maybe your H2 headings on your homepage would be the different services you offer. Or maybe it would just be, you'd have a H2 heading of services we offer. And then your H3s would be facial treatments, body treatments, massage treatments. Those kind of things is how you can then set up that logical hierarchy of the page. And there's no right or wrong. Once you actually know what are those important headings within that page, the important things that Google needs to understand about this page, then what might be right for your business might be different for other businesses. But you can actually go and have a look at your competitors' websites, the ones that are doing well. You could actually go on and have a look at their website and see what they've got their headings set up as. The way that you could do this is you can download a little Google Chrome plugin. You can go to the Google Chrome store and download AIO SEO. This is a plugin that I use every single day in my business. And you can just go to any website, click on the little blue icon for the plugin, and it will tell you what structure they've got on their page. This is really helpful to do on your own website. But as I say, you can also look at your competitor's website and see how they've got their heading structure set up. Bear in mind with this, though, that they may not have done that much work on this. So don't assume that's the only thing that's helping them to show up higher on Google than you, because a lot of businesses haven't done any of this. And actually, that's probably one of the reassuring things about this whole topic of how you can beat your competitors, is a lot of businesses haven't done any of this really. So coming back to your page hierarchy, making sure that your pages are structured in that way that's logical, the hierarchy down the page makes sense. Then making sure that you've got internal links that tie your web pages together. So if somebody comes onto your page, if Google reads through your page, it can understand how your pages relate to each other. And it can understand which page leads to another page. And actually those links that you add to your pages send strong signals to Google about what that page it's linking to is about. So let's give the example of a blog article that was all about how to hydrate your perimenopausal skin. If you had a link that just says learn more, it's not really sending any strong signals to Google about what that page you're linking to is all about. Whereas actually, if you made that whole title the link, how to hydrate your perimenopausal skin, then Google immediately understands so much more about that page that you're linking to that is all about how to hydrate perimenopausal skin. As you're actually building in the links to your website and building in your own internal links, then thinking about what helps Google understand what that page that you're linking to is all about. Internal linking is one of the strong things that you can do that make a big difference. And again, a lot of businesses aren't doing this. And a lot of business owners aren't thinking about how you can link your content together. And this not only helps with Google understanding your website, it also helps to keep people there for longer. So they binge through your content, they understand more about your business, and they want to spend more time there and actually investigate more and learn more about you, and hopefully buy something from you or book an appointment or join your email list. The other thing that helps Google to understand your business and your website quickly is having a dedicated service page for each thing that you offer. And this is something that can build up over time. And I would definitely think about category pages first. So let's come back to the salon example. Just having one page that has all of your treatments on there. If you can have even just some pages broken out into facial treatments, massage treatments, anti-aging treatments, those kind of things, making sure you've got some category pages there, then that really helps Google to understand what you do. And if you can actually link those into your Google business profile and make sure the categories that you've selected in your Google profile relate to those services pages that you actually have on your website. So if you've selected a category in Google business profile of facial treatments or facial aesthetics or something like that, making sure that you have a page on that on your website is a really good way to help Google understand that you do actually offer that service. And when we're doing this, ideally we need to make sure that those category pages, and this works for products as well as services, make sure there is at least 350 words on that page. So quite often, especially with e-commerce businesses, or with product-based businesses, we'll have category pages that don't have any description on that page of what this is all about and what this page is about. It literally will just link to the boxes that can take you through to book that appointment. But just by adding a little description at the top about why you are the expert in this particular service or what the service is, adding some keywords into that description on that page can make a big difference. And making sure then as well, as we said with the homepage, you've got that page title and description set up in a way that's appropriate, that Google would understand what this page is all about, really. One of the things that your competitors might be doing is they might be adding blogs, so adding content onto their website that answers relevant questions. So rather than just writing random blogs that don't necessarily help people to move along that buyer's journey with you, making sure that you're creating blogs that answer questions that are closer to people actually buying from you. So rather than the blog about how to hydrate perimenopausal skin, you could have blogs around what's the best facial for perimenopausal skin or the best treatments for perimenopausal skin, which tends to be people who are actually looking for a solution right now rather than they're just trying to gather information about things, really. And those things that can be often answered in the AI overviews when people are searching now using AI overviews. This is one of the things we really focus on in the Website Growth Club, is making sure these foundations around our messaging is really clear, that we understand what people are actually searching for in relation to our business, and we make sure that we are mentioning that on our own website there as well. The third reason why your competitors might be showing up higher on Google than you is they've got a stronger local presence. This is really important. I'm so passionate about local businesses and about the amazing power of showing up in local searches, which is so much easier than trying to show up nationally. I think we can often ignore the fact that there are many local customers nearby, even if we are an online business. There are usually people who need our products and our services nearby to us. And as I say, it's so much easier to stand out locally than it is trying to compete against the whole internet out there. So even if you can serve anyone anywhere, even if you do help people locally, but people can buy from you anywhere, by making sure that you have actually claimed and optimized your Google business profile, if you're eligible for one. One of the strongest things that you can do is making sure you've selected the right categories for your business, particularly your primary category. And there is another Google Chrome plugin that you can use called GMB Everywhere, which can help you to see what categories are actually available in your niche. I find this is really helpful. And it also then tells you how many people roughly are searching for that particular search term as well. One thing I would say is if you've got a primary category selected and you're thinking about changing it, then that can sometimes trigger a re-verification, which is a lot easier if you are actually a brick and mortar business. So you've got a pin in the map and you've got a physical location with signage outside and everything. But if you are a service area business and you're thinking about changing your primary category, I would strongly think about whether that's actually going to help you or not, because it can, as I say, trigger a re-verification, which can be a real pain. Nobody wants to have to re-verify their Google profile if they can help it. So making sure that you've selected those categories, select all of the ones that are relevant for your business. You can have 10 categories. And so you have one main category and then the subcategories within that. And that can help you then to show up in those searches related to those categories. So when people are searching for things on Google Maps, if you've selected that category and it is actually appropriate for your business and your website shows Google that it is appropriate for your business. So it ties in with your website and you are actually doing that thing and telling Google you're doing that thing that you're saying you are. Then that can really help you to show up in those local searches. And then making sure that you're using all of the sections of the Google profile that are available. So making sure you're using things like adding photos into your profile, asking for reviews, updating your profile regularly, going through and just making sure that you've been through every box on that Google profile and filled in the ones that are appropriate for your business. You can also add events in here as well. So if we were coming back to a salon, a clinic or a spa, then if you're having events, if you've got events coming up, if you've got Christmas shopping events, or if you do a summer sale, those kind of things, actually making sure that you are adding those events into your profile can make a big difference. The fourth reason that your competitors might be showing up more than you in Google is they've created authority, and they've done this over time. This isn't something you can do overnight. It's not something that you can't fake it, basically. It's not complicated, but just sometimes just releasing a few helpful pieces of content that really relate to those core topics of what your business is all about and how you help your customers. And this doesn't have to be blog posts. This can be just making sure that on your services pages that you are actually talking about what you do. You're talking about why you are an expert. You're showing your real world experience of this. And this is something that's going to become more and more important as we move more into AI search as well. Showing that you're not just a business who knows how to use AI to create content, but you actually have real world experience of this. You've worked with customers, you've worked with clients, and this can be case studies on your website. This can be testimonials. It can be a blog that's stating your experience of working with different people's skin, coming back to the salon example, or working with different problems that you've worked with clients through. But just thinking about how can I show that I am a real human who knows about this rather than just someone who knows how to use AI. One of the things you can do with helping with this and helping with creating authority is getting recognition from within your industry as well. So if you've won any awards, not just having a logo to the award there, but talking about that experience, talking about why you being an award winner is helpful to your clients and your customers, how you got that award, what the award means, all of those kind of things. And we're not talking about having this as a big section on your homepage here. Having an actual specific page of featured in the press or awards we've won and those kind of things can be helpful. And you don't have to have a load on there. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I've only won one award, I don't want to create a whole page about that. Just do it. As long as that page has got some content on there, you've got to start somewhere really. If you can get in the local press, that can be really helpful as well. So if you've got something like an event going on at your salon or your spa or retreat or wherever, whatever your business is, this doesn't just apply to salons and spas. Mention it in local press. See if you can get a local press article. Reach out. They always need articles and things to put in. I wouldn't ever sort of pay for an advertorial or anything like that. But if you've got something interesting going on in your business, just reach out and see if local press would actually be interested in it, really. You can also get links from, if you're a trusted supplier of a particular brand, getting them to link to your website, mentioning the fact that you are that trusted supplier. The salon I used to work at, we were Clarins Gold Salon. I definitely don't think we shouted about that enough on our own website and what that meant and why it meant that we were more trusted. Then those kind of things make a big difference as well. But with all of these things, it's creating content authority over time. So it's not something, as I say, that you just do overnight. So each time you're looking at your website and you're thinking about how can I increase the trust and the authority there, just think about what small things you can do that just build that momentum over time. With this, I just want to remind you that no one beats their competitors in Google because they've posted more reels. So this just reinforcing that message that social media is optional, and beating your competitors on Google doesn't mean that they are doing better on social media than you. Your website is the content that you own in your business. So being more consistent there, being clearer there, having more structure there is going to make so much more of a difference than being louder on Instagram, realistically. The gap between you and what your competitors are doing is probably smaller than you think. So most of your competitors are probably winging it as well. And they if they are showing up on Google higher than you, then a lot of the time they're not doing much more than you anyway. So actually just those small and strategic changes over time, the things that we've talked about here, then that can make a big difference. And that can close that gap quite quickly as well. Google really does reward clarity, authority, trust, basically answering the things that the person who's searching on Google is looking for, and making sure that your business is showing itself as the best solution to that person's problem. I've got a few things for you to focus on this week. So what to focus on first is making sure that your homepage is really clear. So fixing your homepage clarity is a big priority, really. So make sure that your H1 heading on your homepage clearly states what you do, who you help. If you're a local business, ideally, and it reads naturally if you can get your location in there as well. Making sure that you've got simple navigation on your homepage that makes it easy for people to get to where they need to on your website. So that can be your top level navigation, so your navigation in your header, but also making sure that you've got some clear navigation points in your homepage to the other pages. So people can quickly understand, again, coming back to the salon example, making sure that it's really easy for people to see how they can click and find out more about the treatments that you offer or the products that you offer, or if you're a service-based business, the services that you offer, making sure that that is there really. And then making sure that there is a strong, clear call to action and next step on your homepage as well. So making sure that people understand what they need to do next, whether it is to book an appointment, to send an inquiry, to book a discovery call, to buy something, to join your email list, making sure that people aren't confused about what they need to do next to work with you and to buy from you. Most businesses only need to start with their homepage, their main services or treatment page. So work out which is your most profitable product or service, and start with those first. Get those optimized. Get used to actually doing this process of going through and optimizing your pages. And then you can start thinking about building up other content beside that, really. And then making sure that your Google business profile is optimized. For a local business, I can't state it any clearer that this is really, really critical to your business. So if you're ignoring your Google profile, and especially if you're ignoring your profile and then you're using social media, that's a real quick win that you can do. What you're posting on social media, those posts that are talking about what you do, the authority type posts or the posts that explain what's going on in your business, even if you just took your top performing post from the week and actually posted that on your Google profile as well, that would make a difference. That would help Google to understand that your business is still live, still relevant. The content that you actually are producing is helping to support Google understanding your products and services in there really as well. Adding a trust signal to every page as well. So each of those pages that we talked about, your home page and your main services page, making sure you add at least one trust signal to every page. So whether that is a review or a testimonial, rather than having them all on one particular page, scatter them throughout your website and you can really make the most of them there. Before and afters as well. So if it's a services page, and you can actually build into that page either some links to a case study page or just a quick before and after picture in there with a little description in there, that can make a big difference. Frequently asked questions, that's always good to add those into your main pages as well. And then something that can help to build trust, like maybe a freebie or a download or those kind of things that can help people to just take that first step towards actually buying from you, really. And make your Google business profile part of your weekly rhythm in your business. As I say, always first and foremost, making sure you've made the most of all of the boxes that are available in your profile, making sure the messaging is all up to date there as well. But even just one update a week, requesting one review a week is better than nothing. Ideally, you'd want to be requesting reviews from all of your customers. Making sure that you just have a little look at your profile, look at what's actually happening. You can actually go into your profile and see what people have actually been typing into Google that's led them through to your profile. So just doing that once a week, just going in, have a look at your profile, think about if you need to add any new updates, any new photos, if you've had any new reviews, do you need to go in and actually reply to them? All of these kind of things can make a big, big difference, really. So remember, this isn't about working harder. It's about working on the right things that really help you to stand out against your competitors, really. And it's something that you can start at any time with this. Any time that you start making changes and start improving this can make a big difference, really. And with all of this, don't feel like you're behind or don't feel like, oh, I'm doing so much less than everybody else. When you take that step onto the path and actually are shown how to do these sort of things and the things that you don't even realize your website isn't doing for you, it can become one of the easiest ways to grow your business, especially if you've got the right support with this as well. So if you're tired of guessing about all of this and not sure what to do first, then book a website potential discovery call with me. We can have a chat about where you are, where you're trying to get to, and if I've got anything that can help you with that, with my one-to-one consulting or with the Website Growth Club, I'll point you in the right direction that can help you then to get there quicker. But these slow and steady improvements can put you on page 1 of Google and get you recommended in ChatGPT faster than you think. So that's all for today. Remember, you only need to do a little bit more than your competitors to actually stand out. So take care and remember, social media is optional.